So I'm sure by now you have already seen Oompaville's newest video, MrBreasts Response, and like the title implies, it's MrBeast's response to the months of drama that have been going on surrounding the internet, breaking the internet, and filling up the wallets of commentary channels all over the world. And now, this video was very interesting. By now, many other commentary channels have made, their 50-minute to 3-hour long videos breaking down every little thing, and I'm not going to do that, unfortunately. But there are plenty of great sources you can check out for that kind of information. Quinn Theo, August the Duck, right? Pyro Live, more Pegasus, Turkey Tom, just the list goes on and on and on about everybody who's covered this video already, but I kind of just wanted to break down some of my more interesting points that I've noticed and what I took away from the video. Now, Beast is very smart. He knew to go to someone like Oompaville, and Oompa even makes it very clear in the beginning of his video that he may have missed a few questions, and he wasn't exactly hard-hitting on a lot of the questions and doubling down or pushing back on MrBeast's responses.
MrBeast is currently on a private jet on his way to where I live in Central Texas to have a conversation with me with the intention of addressing the controversy that he has been involved in over the last few months. And I think that it is important for me to document my intentions before embarking on this risky and difficult task. I am not Scott Pelley. I am not a hard-hitting genius investigative journalist. I'm a YouTuber with a medium-sized platform. I am currently doing journalism, to be fair, but I am goofy, all right? Also, back in August, I platformed Dogpack, and out of fairness, I feel that it is important to do the same for MrBeast.
If anything, it felt like Soggy Cereal's video on the MrBeast stuff just from MrBeast's mouth himself. And in this video, a lot of the times, he even references the Soggy Cereal's video. Now, I guess to get the elephant out of the room first, yeah, MrBeast is likely going to sue Dogpack over the videos that he made, and let's just listen to what MrBeast has to say about it.
Are you going to sue Dogpack?
Well, there's tons of examples of him intentionally manipulating things to not be true and posting it online. Tons and tons and tons of that. Soggy has basically an hour and 27-minute video.
See what I mean? He keeps referencing Soggy's video a lot.
And an hour of it is just flat out proving manipulation and lies and caused a lot of harm to my businesses. I mean, I've literally had people pull out millions of dollars and then tell me it was directly because of his video. And don't worry, I instantly was like, can you send that in writing? So, if I win a case or anything, I can directly point damages. No reason why. And so, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like, I don't want to be put in this situation, but probably gonna have to. I mean, it's just. I mean, what do you do if someone's just spreading misinformation about you and just causing harm to your business and like getting it to the point where you might have to potentially fire people because it's costing you so much revenue? It's like, it's not fair to the people in my companies. You know what I mean? It's just sad. It's not a thing I take joy in, but
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So, yes.
They're not done drafting it up, but once they're done, more than likely, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah, it's safe to assume that the cease and desist that was sent out was not exactly a scare tactic, and, MrBeast does, in fact, plan to pursue suing and getting damages paid for by none other than Dogpack 404. Now, again, he mentions how he's going to have these people who have pulled out millions of dollars put into writing the damages, which is usually something that has to be proven when it comes to like defamation, slander, court cases involving things on this scale, is you need proof of damages to your brand, to loss of profit. MrBeast pulls the thing, he wants to appeal to people's ethics and be like, well, yeah, it's not just me, I might be a problem, but it's like I also have families and children of those families who rely on me and whatnot. And it is going to be definitely an interesting case. As always, I will keep you up to date. Maybe we'll get like a Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial, but Mr. Beast and Dogpack. So, we'll be streaming all day long, 20 hours a day, keeping up with the Dogpack. But yeah, Mr. Beast is most likely going to be suing Dogpack over these videos. Now, one of the next big allegations, which is actually one of the newer allegations brought up by CoffeeZilla, is his crypto trading. Mudahar / Some Ordinary Gamers also talked about this, and there's a report going around, keeping up with all of the things that MrBeast has involved in, whether it be cryptos and like NFT projects and things like that. And here's MrBeast's response, which basically kind of is summarized as, yeah, I'm too dumb to do that.
Coffee's video.
Yeah, Coffee's video and the report. Well, so I'll start off with the report. I mean, most people probably haven't even read it, but that's what kind of spawned that whole thing was this. Did you see it? Like that? Yeah. So the gist of this crypto report that was, 1 second, sorry, it's not my. The gist of this report was, Jimmy is too stupid to like make this kind of money. Therefore, it must be insider trading. This is his wallet. Clearly there was insider trading because he never would have been able to make this kind of money. When in reality, which is what I told Coffee in that statement we gave him, it was managed by a fund. So I wasn't the one managing the wallet. I've never had access to that wallet. I've never done the buying and selling on that wallet. There's a actual professional who's written books on crypto and lived and breathes crypto every second of the day managing it. So most of the allegations there are just answered by I am too stupid to do that. That's why a fund was managing it. You know what I mean?
Again, it's a massive cop-out. He did the same thing with the Delaware thing. He did the same thing with a lot of the stuff going on where he just pulls basically, it's someone else's fault. He's too dumb to do that. Yeah, I made a big oopsie. And that's been most of his responses to just about anything. It's either that, he's incompetent, he was wrong, or Dogpack's a liar and a horrible, lying, slandering person. And I feel like that's just not a good answer because there's been plenty proven that, MrBeast did have involvement. Even if MrBeast wasn't managing these crypto accounts, there's still things of him tweeting out, basically in a sense, encouraging people to go out and buy certain coins and try out and looking into new NFT projects and, all these weird little interesting things that were talked about in these reports and the CoffeeZilla videos. Again, interesting that MrBeast chose to go to someone like Oompa, who isn't going to double down. He'll just accept this answer as, okay, I guess you're right. Now, another thing that, of course, is getting everyone to talk is the Delaware thing. MrBeast, doubles down on the idea that he was just a random guy working at Best Buy that they knew, and his name was Delaware as noted by the Delaware name tag. But there's lots of stuff going back showing that, Ava Chris Tyson, before transitioning, of obviously being Chris Tyson, interacted with Delaware. They hug in a video. They were friends. There's even more interesting connections going all the way back to 2010 of, them having a connection, being friends. So again, it's more than just, we just hired a guy at Best Buy hoping he wasn't weird. It was, a longtime friend, and it ended up being, someone with a horrific past. And again, Beast just tries to double it as, I was just ignorant, we made a mistake and we let him go and whatnot. But still, you did hire this person. And if we have to go on what, Ava Tyson, where they put out that cryptic tweet saying who you hire, says a lot about you. And it was a screenshot of the charges Delaware had. At that point, no name was given. But then we also had Jake the Viking, who was, Delaware's brother, also put out a interesting tweet, admitting that, yeah, Delaware was a creep. And he did that thing a long time ago. And I hope he's going to get removed from the registry or whatever. But he also says that Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mom, knew, right? So we have so many conflicting ideas that it's just so easy for Jimmy to just go on Oompa, say, yeah, I had no idea, it was just a Best Buy guy, the end. It's just not a fair way to present that information. I also don't think it's fair for, Jake Weddle to come out and say, they call him Delaware because he's banned from Delaware, right? We have many conflicting interests that may or may not be true. And I don't think it's a fair cop-out to just say, yeah, we accidentally hired a creep. My bad. Oops. A real big oopsie. So at about 2 hours and 16 minutes of this video, Oompa luckily dives into the Shadman allegations. Of course, we all know that spawned this insane thing with Ava Tyson also being involved in like these weird discords and weird telegrams, and then Beast was involved in cutting a portion of his video out. I don't know if he did it or maybe his editors. Someone went through all these old videos where there was a picture of a Shadman poster on the wall. They cut this part out of the video. There was another old video where Chris Tyson moved out of the home and the poster was still on the wall. And so it's a very interesting thing, and luckily Oompa remembered this question and he called Jimmy, right? So it's not them sitting together anymore, it's on a phone this time.
Footage. We'll talk a little bit about Ava Tyson and specifically the Shadman stuff. I know we talked about the third-party investigation, which found no wrongdoing in like a legal sense from that perspective. A thing that a lot of people care about is Shadman's a fucking freak and is a disgusting person. Did you know about the painting in? Did you know about that? Have you ever interacted with Shadman before? Like, what is your relation to that, and specifically that relationship between Shadman and Ava Tyson and you?
Yeah, no, that's actually a good follow-up question. So this is what it was like. I don't remember 7, 8 years ago. Back then, I used to have like a bunch of anime posters up on the wall. I'm just like set a foundation for context. We used to have a bunch of anime posters and things like that on our wall in the house. And one day, Ava put up this poster that was like an animated character holding a fidget spinner and a gun. Admittedly, it was a weird image. I didn't know who made it. I just kind of assumed it was a meme. I obviously did not know who Shadman was. I've never spoken with Shadman. I did not buy the poster or commission it or anything. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I didn't really think too much of it because we just had like a lot of anime posters and things up, and it was an animated character that was clothed, obviously. And yeah, knowing what I know about Shadman now is a very weird thing to buy. I'm not really sure why she bought it, to be frank. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could give more details. I mean, this was so long ago. Obviously, I don't know the like exact thoughts going through my head, but I just remember, like, I agree, it is a little bit of a weird poster. But I also think like, I had like Naruto posters up, or I had like Code Geass posters, like random animes I used to watch, and like, I never like reversed image search and Googled, who made this Code Geass anime poster that's sitting on the wall or whatever. I don't, I don't, your first instincts when you just see a poster is not to just go, who made that, and deep dive them. So
yeah, are they a pal? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I agree. It's her buying it is very weird. And I, obviously, if I had known what I know now, I would have been like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah, that's fair. Cause I also, after all this stuff, I didn't know who Shadman was. I've heard of him a little bit, on Twitter and shit, but I didn't know. Total ignorance there. So, okay. And that's just one that's important, people, cause that's fucked up. That guy is, disgusting. And people do care. It's like, you've got pedo art and, you were saying you didn't know. That's, it's disgusting. Fucking Shadman is a freak. So, okay.
So there we have it. Mr. Beast basically pulled the I had no idea card, which is fine. Oompa kind of helped him out a little by saying, yeah, Shadman's gross, yeah. But the reality is, there were posts of Mr. Beast interacting with Shadman. It's not like he was interacting with him in a way as like, oh, this is my best friend Shadman. It was more or less along the lines of like, oh, cool art. And it would be like a picture of like an adult character, which is completely fine. But either way, I think that MrBeast did know Shadman. It's kind of hard to be a part of the internet, engaging in this type of community, in that type of community. If you followed people like Elvis the Alien, people like, Nux Taku, people in these little spheres of looking into art and just these weird degenerate things, it's kind of hard to not know who Shadman was. Again, I think you can support the art of him doing like pictures of like the Incredibles mom, or like, Maleficent, like adult characters, whatever, be a gooner. But once he started to dive into like the child stuff, obviously we can all admit that was pretty disgusting and vile. Now, again, Jimmy is kind of pulling the art of just like, I had no idea. I really had no idea. Chris Tyson's a little weird. I didn't ask her why. I feel like you did ask her why. And I feel like that's another thing that just didn't get enough clarification, or maybe we're still going to find out one day what truly came from the Ava Tyson situation. I feel like we don't know anything about that. That thing just kind of came and went. All the logs came out, all the things came out. Ava put out a statement and it has been hush hush ever since, and that's extremely suspicious and just very strange to me. Again, I'm not accusing, and I don't think MrBeast is like a lollipop enjoyer because this art was on their wall. I just think that Beast knew a little more about who Shadman was exactly, and I think that's fine to know who he was. You don't have to play ignorant with every single thing. Again, these are just my assumptions, though. I don't know anything more than Beast tells us. And I think I'm gonna just wrap the video up here. It was nice to hear from Jimmy. Throughout this whole thing, all we've had is like, corporate tweets, obviously written by a team of like HR professionals and whatnot. But it was nice to actually see Jimmy in front of a camera being asked some of these questions, even though, many of us can probably come to the assumption that these answers were, rehearsed. Maybe the questions that Oompa was going to ask were rehearsed or, talked about with Jimmy and his team way before this actually happened. Again, he's had 3-4 months to prepare to answer some of these things, which is why, a lot of the answers just come down to, yeah, my bad. Yeah, I was dumb. Yeah, I was ignorant. Someone else does it. Someone else did it. Again, I don't think Jimmy is the Antichrist as they joke about in this video. I don't think he's the worst human being alive. I also don't think Dogpack, Rosanna, Jake Weddle, anyone else involved in this situation is the worst human being alive, right? It's important to stay open-minded and try to look into everything and listen to everything. And I hope you guys were able to, enjoy the video. I appreciate you watching. Peace out. Bye.